What's going on, guys? Sparky here from NoNamed Gaming, and welcome to Madden 2006. I just want to say thank you for hopping into the time machine with me. We're in the year 2005 here, and we are going to be starting a franchise mode to run alongside our NCAA Football 06 Dynasty, if you haven't checked that out. But we are going to be taking over the Cleveland Browns, and my oh my, these guys are a very interesting squad. The Browns, since they came back in the league back, I believe it was 99, after taking a short, 3-year hiatus, have not fared well, and they're in a very tough AFC North conference. AFC North football, some of the roughest, as some would say. But let's take a look down this Cleveland Browns roster. Maybe find some spots that we can improve on. Just take a look. This is the training camp roster. We have not signed anybody, any free agents or anything like that. We are going to go through training camp in this, just sim through that, sim through preseason, and then get to week 1 and take a look at what we have in store for the regular season. So let's run through the roster, shall we? At quarterback, our starting quarterback is Trent Dilfer. Charlie Fry backing him up. So we'll see. We might start out with Dilfer for a while. He is pretty old there, 33 years old, and he's got 4 years on a contract. So we might see if we could maybe bump Charlie Fry in some of the games that we have opportunities for. Moving on to running back, we have Ruben Drowns and we have Lee Suggs. Man, those are names that you haven't heard in a while. Both on the younger side than William Green and Echimandu. Behind at fullback, we have Terrell Smith. Moving on to wide receiver, and this is a really interesting position because we have lots of receivers. We got Braylon Edwards, Andre Davis, Dennis Northcutt, and Antonio Brandt, all very good receivers. Taking a look, all very young in comparison to, and under contract at least for a couple years. We got Davis and Northcutt for 2 more. We've got Braylon Edwards for a nice long 6-year deal. So hopefully develop him into an NFL icon. Taking a look at the tight end position, we got Kellen Winslow and Steve Hayden and Aaron Shea. Tackles, there we go. We got LJ Sheldon, Joseph Andruzzi, Jeff Fain, Kosi Coleman, and then Ryan Tucker. So our offensive line, not too bad. They're in the mid-80s, but the problem is, taking a look, ages seem to be a little bit of a concern as we go further into this one. And the contracts for some of them, not the nicest in terms of length for the older guys. Now moving on to the defensive side of the ball, we have Orpheus Roy, 84 overall. He is 31 for a 2-year deal, and that's a big money deal too, with 7.6 mil. Cool, that's gonna be a tough one. And then on the other side of the ball, we've got Amon Gordon and Alvin McKinley. Gordon, 23, 27 for McKinley. We might be able to move on from that. Jason Fisk, 86 for our defensive tackle. Backing him up, we don't have much. Fisk, he is a nice, 33 years old with a 3-year deal. So the contract's not looking too great here in Cleveland, something maybe we can improve on going forward. But now moving on to the linebacker core, we have Matt Stewart and Kennard Lang. So we'll have a battle for the linebacker position. Lang has plenty of money to work with here. He's got a 3-year deal, actually both on a 3-year deal. I don't understand the contracts with the Cleveland Browns here, but 29 and 26, their ages. Now moving on to the Mike linebacker, we have Andre Davis, Ben Taylor, and Brian Boyer. And so again, ages not too bad. We have a 1-year deal left for these guys. Davis is going to want big money though. 1 year left. He's got a lot to make on that. Sean Thompson is going to be our starter. It looks like David McMillan coming in as the rookie, so similar ages, but we'll see. Moving on to the secondary at cornerback, we've got Gary Baxter and Dalen McCutcheon, who are pretty decisively going to be our starters. Gary Baxter, 26, and he's got a 6-year deal, so we'll be able to lock him down, maybe trade him later on. But Antonio Perkins coming in with a 4-year deal as well. The other thing to kind of make note of, the rookie there. Moving out to free safety, we have Brian Russell, 87 years old. He's got 2 years left on his deal. And then moving on to safety, strong safety, we have Sean Jones and Rodney Poole. Both have 4 years, so it's going to be a nice battle for that position. Maybe lots of rotations when it comes to the defensive secondary. Now moving on to special teams, Phil Dawson at our kicker position. Only a 1-year deal, but he is 30, so we'll see how he does throughout the season. And then Derek Frost, 67 overall for our punter. Now, before we do go into training camp, just want to take a quick peek at free agency, just so you guys can see what we have out there. And you'll just get to see the top 4 nothing really standing out right now to come in and replace anything we have. Because our offense isn't terrible. Our offense is okay. Our problems come in with our defense. And we might see if we could pick somebody up maybe in the preseason. But, I mean, it's not terrible. We just don't have depth. So if somebody gets hurt, we're kind of in a bad spot there. So there is the free agency, and we can also take a look at it later on. But we are going to go ahead and go through training camp, get all the players progress, hopefully develop our rookies a little bit, and then we'll move on towards the regular season. We'll see what our game day roster is for week 1. I'll see you guys there. We just wrapped up the preseason, and here we are now ready for week 1. So here's your week 1 game day roster. Your starting quarterback is going to be Trent Dilfer. Over at halfback, Lee Suggs won the running back battle. Ruben Downs did get injured, so he is out for 6 weeks. So we're going to be down to just pretty much one running back for quite a while. When it comes to wide receiver, really interesting one how this played out. Andre Davis is number 1. Antonio Bryant, number 2. Rookie Braylon Edwards is number 3. And then Dennis Northcutt is number 4. Tight ends, Kellen Winslow. I forgot he came into the season injured, and so he is out for the season and is on IR. So we just have Hayden and Jay to rely on there for tight ends. Left tackle Shelton and Druzy at left guard. Fowler beat Fane at the center position battle. Right guard Coleman, and right tackle is Tucker. Left end we've got Roy. Right end McKinley. Defensive tackle is going to be Fisk, and then we move on to the linebackers. So laying a beat out Stewart, we have Davis and Taylor as your 2 starting middle linebackers. Boyer is 3rd, and then Wiley, we signed out of free agency, is number 4 on the right side. Thompson was going to be a starter, so it looks like it will be not Lang. It'll be McMillan, the rookie, getting the call here for the right outside linebacker. Coming over to quarterback, we're going to have an interesting setup. We've got McCutcheon, who beat out Baxter, and then Jones actually will not be playing because he's going to be our starter at strong safety, and then Brian Russell. Kicker Philip Dawson, and then Derek Frost for our punter. So that is your starting roster. Let's go take a look at our schedule, and we'll take a look at our first week matchup and see how we are looking heading in. All right, so here we are, the 2005 Cleveland Browns schedule. We kick things off against our in-state rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals, at home, so we get to put on a show for the Dog Pound, and then we go on the road for a little bit. We have the Packers and the Colts, a very early week 4 bye. Then we have the Bears, travel out to Baltimore, we get home against the Lions, then road against the Texans, back home against Titans, then we travel to Pittsburgh for a very rough Steelers game is what it seems like it might be. Then we get the Dolphins at home, the Vikings on the road, we get the Jaguars, followed by Bengals in Cincinnati, so we get that second game. Raiders on the road as well, and we get the Steelers back at home, and we finish off the season at home against Baltimore. So taking a look at week number 1, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that looks pretty solid on paper. We're not going to fare too well this season. We've already kind of put that in the back of our minds looking for the draft. We're going to try and build a little bit, see if we can develop this team into something. But let's take a look. I believe the paper has some stuff on the game coming up. Let's see what they're predicting. Let's head on over and check out the Cleveland paper. All right, so nothing in the Cleveland Tribune about this upcoming game. However, they do have who our starters are. You see the headline here for the sports section is Lee Suggs is named the starter at halfback, and it kind of obvious though because Ruben Downs out for a little while, but we'll be able to intertwine the 2 running backs, speed and power, once he gets back in week 7. So that is all we have for today. Make sure you guys check out, if you haven't already, head on over to check out the NCAA Football 06 Rice Owls Dynasty that's going to be running simultaneous to our Madden 06 franchise here with Cleveland Browns. We'll be able to pull in any players going to the draft from the college universe and pulling them here into Madden. So you'll be able to follow some of the top prospects and some of your favorite players there. Maybe eventually we'll get some Owls here on the Browns, or maybe see some Rice Owl players making a difference here in the NFL. That's the goal. But here in Cleveland, we're trying to get a Super Bowl. Heck, we're trying to get to the playoffs, something that hasn't been done very often in Cleveland Brown history. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can catch all the Cleveland Brown and Rice Owl action here coming up in the upcoming weeks. We're going to try and run these as real time as we can, so it'll probably be one upload a week for each of these, but at the same time, it's going to be like the college football one will come out first, and then the day later will probably be the Cleveland Browns, so it'll kind of run like a college and NFL season. So thank you guys very much, and you can check out the NCAA intro episode there in the end card, so make sure to go check that out if you haven't already. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll see you for week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals.